Step wake up, really gon' rise, wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food, get some good, some food. Step 3, grow.
I can't believe there's feedback. I don't understand why it's doing that. That's weird. I don't like that. Let's try again. I'll just have to play it from local source. Not acceptable. Not acceptable.
Step 1, wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got you do the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Mike's on. Hello. Good morning, Deacon. I'm sorry you feel badly.
It's all right.
Oh man, what a great morning, and yet I'm sorry you feel I feel badly. What's going on, Deacon?
Nothing. What's up?
Oh, okay. Well, I have a trade show convention that I've been just
really?
about killing myself to get ready for this weekend, for the last, I don't know, 5 weeks or so, and I've been writing all the marketing materials, the pamphlets, got those printed, had to edit last Friday. I had to edit a whole new video loop to run in our booth. I've just been like sweating bullets for weeks, and the rest of the team went up and set the booth up on Friday, and I was in the office like cutting video and making a new video, and then at 5 o'clock on Friday, they're like, "Oh, the computer's glitchy," and I'm like, "What do you mean the computer's glitchy? It was totally fine while it's here." So there's some sort of like bad power outlet or something where the power phase is unclean in our booth. So I may still have, it's like the trade show starts in a couple hours, and I may still have like a tech issue to iron out, and I can't even get down there until 10 o'clock. So I swear, even though I swear I can see gray in my beard, even though the camera is not high resolution. What's going on with you, Deacon? What's going on?
Ashley and I have had to go to a couple of trade shows, Minneapolis and in Las Vegas, and yeah, I know what you mean about setting up everything and making sure you got power and all that crap. Yeah, it can be a pain in the butt when you're not allowed into that place early. Those places early.
Well, and I haven't even able to go to the site at all. You know, like the rest of the team was free to go down there, but I had to keep working to get material ready for the show. So anyway, and then so this morning we have the show, and then I'm gonna get my kids up, and then I got to run like all over South Texas to take my kids to daycare, kindergarten, and then drive to the heart of Houston, to the George R. Brown Convention Center. It's gonna be a great day. Everything's gonna go smoothly. I'm not gonna have any issues. It's gonna work out.
But I hope everything works out good with you. My house has been sick all weekend.
You got the crud.
I don't know what it is, but they've been sick all weekend. So I have been doing everything all weekend, taking care of people and Ashley and everybody. And last night, in the middle of the freaking night, I've been sleeping in the spare bedrooms because Ashley's been so sick. And, it's not because I don't want to get sick. It was just because I move around on the bed. I'm going to slot, I'm going to move the bed, and it's making her sick to her stomach and whatnot. So I was
right.
And, God, man, last night in the middle of the night, geez, it was just.
I mean, you already don't get good enough sleep as it is.
No. I haven't gotten good sleep in like 30 years. That's why I was feeling like crud. I'll just be completely honest with you. I feel like crud today, and I hadn't got any good sleep. And that little fucking wake up music was just, I had to take my headphones off. I just could not.
Sorry.
No, it's you. It's good. It's not you. It's me. I was just in that point today where I'm like, no, I'm not listening to this. I'm not in the mood to be
so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I liked the new intro. It sounded good. I'm just.
I put a lot of effort into the video transitions to be humorous and like something to keep your eye on. Like, wait, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah, I had a listener call me at 2:30 in the morning last night and wake me up because there was something wrong with the radio station.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been up since.
Wait, call your house?
He's got my cell phone number. He's a good listener. He's been listener for, a long time.
Dang.
And so I gave him he listens like all the time in the middle of the night. So I gave him my number years ago, and I was like, if anything ever happens, you just let me know. And by God, he does. At 2:30 in the morning.
My brother noticed that Pelosi's final form was rendered in the video. Okay. Yeah. Jeremy, that's one of my favorite stickers I made on the Discord server. It's not for the Discord server. It's actually just for me. In fact, the other admins have had it thrown off a couple of times, so I just have it in other places. But that's my Pelos Skeletor sticker. Anytime she comes up in the news, which is all too often. Okay, well, sorry you're having a rough morning. I hope that maybe doing the show will, pick you up a beat. But I understand sick is sick. My kid's sick, actually. My my oldest daughter is got the phlegm and the flick and the blit and the and all of that coming out, and she fell asleep hard last night, and we had to she was just not feeling good, so we dose her with the Benadryl. If you got kids, Benadryl puts them down. They get sleepy and they just go unconscious. She actually fell asleep in my arms while I was rocking her to sleep, and that never happens. So she's not doing good, and I think it's just the crud of sinuses or whatever.
Crud. Yeah, it's just sinus crud. And people are like, "You're gonna go get the corona test?" No, because it's crud. It's just crud that's gone around that we've had for the beginning of time.
Right.
It's crud. I feel like crap. It doesn't mean I have the coronavirus. No. No. Plus, if everybody's fucking
That is there not
goddamn coronavirus, why in the world is everybody worried about it?
is there not a better sign that people have been just programmed by media? Like somebody sneezes, somebody has a sneezes, has a little goop out of their nose, and it's the Rona. No,
It's you can't. I was this. You see my vape?
yeah, yeah.
My little CBD vape has it makes me cough sometimes if I get a too big of a hit. And it's like the weed, man. You get too big of a hit and it makes you cough a little bit. And I was coughing the other day. I got too big of a hit. I was like taking a hit before we went in somewhere. And I was like, hang on, we was in the car and I took a puff off of it and I started coughing. I was like, and I was coughing. And Ashley's like, why don't you get that out of your system before we go in here? Because I don't want people looking at us like you've got the Rona. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Give me another minute or so to get this coughing out of my system.
You don't want to get the public stare, the devil death eye. Even if they have the Rona, what's the point of getting it tested? Yeah. I've never had no, that's not true. I have had coronavirus tests, but I don't know what the results are because it wasn't for me. It was for the study I'm in. And like, I almost never even cared. And the only thing I care about is like, oh, did they call me and tell me I have the Rona? Because otherwise I don't care what they say. And they never call. So I guess I never had the Rona. So I'm just not worried about that.
You, sir, have bigger cojones than I do.
Oh, well, you're more vulnerable, I think, a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm not vulnerable and I've got the vaccination, but I don't think the vaccine's protected me. I think I don't know what to think about it. I don't know what the rules are.
Then if you don't think the vaccine's protecting you, then why did you get it?
Do you see all these comic books behind me?
Yeah.
They paid me.
Yeah,
they paid me money to get my blood, and I was like, vaccine that might work. Comic books. All right, I'll take it. I'll do it. I'm in my 40s. I'm whatever. I'm in a certain demographic. So it does provide like I would say that I help contribute valuable scientific data. Except on this side of it, and now 2 years in, I know that I just log into this app every day and it's like, have you had the Rona? Have you had sick? And I'm like, nope. I've been pushing no on this app for like 2 years straight. Just
what's the point? I mean, then if you're doing that for 2 years straight and every other single person is doing that, 80% of the people are doing that, are we really getting real numbers or are we just getting
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Bored
and I'm not faking it, but let me tell you let me just show you. This is the, let's see, it'll load up. Hold on. And not every study is the same. And they do bring me in and do blood draws and like testing on like biological testing on that stuff sometimes. But basically this is my app every day. It says, have you had any of the following? A diagnosis of COVID, a fever, a new cough, a shortness of breath, chills, muscle pain, taste or smell, loss of taste or smell, sore throat, diarrhea, or vomiting. I have had
a lot of freaking things cause those.
Yeah, no, I have had all of those things in the last 2 years, and I always say no. You know why? Because one time I was like, I had like I think I actually was sick and vomiting one time, or I had the diarrhea or one of those things, and I was like, I pushed yes, and then they called me and they were like, this. And I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm just trying to answer your app. I got sick. I'm just telling you I got sick, even though I had the vax. And they're like, okay, well, don't do that. And I was like, all right. So now every time it's been that I've ever gotten sick, and I've had diarrhea, I've had vomiting, I've had, just you go in and out of being sick over stuff. And every time I'm like, it's probably not COVID. I'm just going to hit no. And I just hit no every time. So is the data good? I don't know. I hope they're not using this data to convince people to get the
this sounds just exactly like the data that came from Russia and those weather stations years ago that they said that they were like, oh, Vladimir didn't go out to that weather station. He's just been writing down the same numbers for the last 5 years.
So Jeremy, my brother says that he prays daily that my wife and I got the saline placebos. And my immune system's healthy. I actually did get the saline placebo for the first 6 months the way this started in like probably like August 2020, about 6 months or whatever into the coof. I volunteered for the study and honestly was like, maybe I can be of help to somebody and, get us all past this, just a little piece of it. And they're going to pay me. That's awesome. I'm going to start buying comics. And I bought all of these comics. So,
I can see that being your major motivator.
that is
not one of these people that's like, yes, I will voluntarily put my health at risk for a bunch of you bastards that I don't even know about, that don't even give two shits about me.
Well, so
these people don't give two craps about me. And honestly, if they knew what I believed in, they would want me to die.
No,
No. Have you met some of these liberal people?
Yes, I have. The
so
thing is,
really
they're like that on the internet, but I don't know that people are like that in real life all the time. I think, but on the internet, they act like the internet, like they're fighting a holy war against the devil's crusaders or something.
I'm like your brother. I just like when you told me that first day and my jaw hit the floor, that I was like, you're a what? And I'll say the same thing that I said then. I hope that you and your family remain the healthiest possible.
Well,
with going through this, because it scares me.
It was at the time, it was definitely a risk analysis thing because nobody had any vaccine. Nobody knew if it was going to work or not work. And I'm not going to stay trapped in my house. So I'm going to work. So I'm going to take the risk that maybe the vaccine will work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But but taking being part of the trial for the vaccine anyway, was contributing to it may be contributing to greater scientific information, but also, did it reduce my risk profile? Yeah, it did. It reduced my risk profile slightly in that, like, if I was exposed, maybe I would be able to rebuff it. Now, actually, I think that I have no idea if that happened at all, but I do think that overall, all of us are not necessarily more healthy because of the vaccine. We're probably more healthy because humans have gotten sick and developed immunities and resistances, and then we're passing that around, or we're passing around milder strains, and then your immune system is able to rebuff it around, fight it off more. So, I mean, I think that's what's actually happened, but I don't have any idea. I'm not gonna live in fear, though. I won't. I refuse to live in fear.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I don't either.
And if that means that I croak, well, I hope it doesn't mean that I croak.
I hope not.
But yeah. Colin says allergies suck. They do, and they blow. They suck and they blow.
Yes,
not good stuff.
Can you hear the train coming?
I hear it. Choot choot. Get your choot choot on.
I'm like 20 yards from the freaking track. This microphone, listen. It's kind of a quiet one.
I can hear it. I can hear it louder than normal.
Yeah.
Hey, did I see you running OBS on top of your thing? Like, what was that? It looked like you had an OBS icon for your user.
No, I don't know where that icon came from. I thought it was like your icon or whatnot.
No, that's not mine.
I do have OBS because I was making a little Hero Forge miniatures for my role-playing game and stuff, and I was doing little videos where I will make like a character someone could use in a story or a D&D story or something, and I make them and speed it up, and me and Deacon have been trying to do that. So I've got the OBS.
Are you posting those on your YouTube channel?
No, not yet. I've just been messing with editing and trying to perfect it and whatnot.
OBS has got a lot of powerful tools to it, but I have also found that it like dogs my computer out sometimes.
Oh, really?
I don't know why, but good luck with that. And if you start posting videos on your YouTube, let me know, and I'll put your channel as a feature highlight or something like that. I just don't know that you put any videos up yet, so let me know when you do. We'll put your names in the credits. What's up? What did Jeremy say there?
Jimmy is talking about
among children excess is the what? How do you know what the excess? I mean, I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying, how do we know what the excess is? What's the right amount of deaths we're supposed to be having? Yeah, compared to what? I don't know what that means. I heard somebody talking about an excess deaths report last week, and I was like, I don't understand what that means. Like, according to who? About what? All righty then. Well, what do you want to talk about this morning, Deacon?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, how about we talk about the American victory that is the best possible solution that could have been for the given situation, because not every situation is a win-win. Sometimes it's a win-lose. Sometimes it's a straight-up surrender. So let's talk about this. Former Afghan interpreter left behind in 2021 says, "I wouldn't have helped the United States if I knew how much it would endanger my family."
Well, yeah. Imagine. That's something you didn't think about, but yeah, imagine all these people that helped the U.S. and then when we left all of our shit there,
Yeah,
you think they're
we
just
left.
going to be like,
We left our
oh,
stuff. We took. I mean, it was a. I wish that we had been doing the show when it happened, because I remember as soon as Bagram Air Force Base was closed. This was probably 4 weeks or 5 weeks before the Biden, calamity surrender. When Bagram Air Force Base closed, the story ran, and I read it that whatever morning that was, or the following day, I read it in the newspaper, and or on the internet. I read it on the news. Okay, Bagram Air Force Base closed, and the story was it happened in the dead of night. The military just pulled out and left. They left all their stuff. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't tell the command staff. They didn't tell anyone. And at the time I read about that, I was like, oh my God, they are going to fuck this up so bad, because that is not how you transition. That is not how you do anything. And so the situation in Afghanistan was, we had Bagram Air Force Base, which we basically like rolled into Afghanistan. And over the last 20 years, we built an Air Force Base in the desert somewhere. And it had perimeter defenses. It was armed. It had like billions of dollars of equipment there. But General Dipshit that was running the evacuation was basically told to tell, like, by the Biden administration, we need to withdraw, and he prioritized the Kabul Air Force Base rather than the Bagram Air Force Base to do the withdrawal from. So they closed Bagram in the dead of night, and you know what happened since then. Kabul, we had we had a terror attack, an IED in the last days of the withdrawal. The Taliban was providing perimeter security for the United States evacuation mission out of Kabul. It was a total shit cake. Quote, during portions of an interview aired on Friday's NBC Nightly News, an Afghan man who the NBC News chief Washington correspondent and chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell said worked as a translator for the State Department and U.S. military for 12 years, and still has some relatives in Afghanistan, said that if he knew he'd be putting his family at risk by working for the U.S., he wouldn't have worked for the United States to begin with. Mitchell said the man was left behind during the evacuation in 2021, but did reach the U.S. with some of his relatives last month and spent 10 months hiding from the Taliban, moving his family from house to house every 3 days, and was one of thousands pleading for help. The man stated, "One of the mistakes that I made was putting all of my family at risk. So if I knew it, I wouldn't start." Mitchell then asked, "You wouldn't have done this again?" He responded, "If I anticipated that 12 years ago, I would never have started." The man also said during the evacuation, "When I got to the airport, I showed my passport, I showed my badge. They didn't accept it. They said no. I was so close to burning the badge and just going to the Taliban and telling them I was doing this and saying, if you want to kill me now." This is one of the legacies of the Biden administration. It's going to be. And I mean, this is now what the word of Americans is worth diplomatically to our partners in hostile regions. This is a shame. And we probably should not be in Afghanistan. Probably should never have been in Afghanistan. Probably, hindsight, I was supportive of, the post 9/11 stuff. And, I am now a much older person, and I now am thinking like, no, never give the government more power, never give them the extent to reach and draw and take more power to secure our borders. But this is something shameful, and we're all kind of responsible. So this guy is just one of probably thousands. There's probably thousands of, like, if they're still alive, because we did a lot of people dirty, and a lot of them paid with their lives. If Facebook don't want to send an email,
we're not the good guys all the time.
We are not.
Other countries look at us as the bad guys, and I can completely see why they look at us as the bad guys. Because honestly, when we Americans find out why we're considered the bad guys, we think we're the damn bad guys too.
Yeah.
Because we don't.
I mean, definitely, America Incorporated is, America Government Inc. is not good, and that's the thing, right? So, like, this isn't something you would want to do. This isn't a message that you would like endorse. This isn't something you would endorse as a citizen. And when our government does this to the world, they speak on our behalf. So how much similar is it for all these other countries, for people in all these other countries? How much of a similar position are Russians in right now? I'm sure many Russians are supportive of Putin's, adventures into Ukraine and Crimea. But, I'm sure there's also some that are like us, that are like, this isn't what I want. I don't want war. I don't want death. I don't want harassment. I don't want to intervene in other countries. And
war's a moneymaker, JJ.
Yeah, sure
Can't
is.
make any money if you don't have war going on somewhere.
It is definitely an economic stimulus, but don't worry, we'll make that money worthless and burn it.
I was reading something last night or over the weekend. It was specifically talking about how long it takes for a economy to recoup once wartime switches back to peacetime, and it was talking about during World War II. And during World War II, it's very easy for us to just turn off the factories. We're no longer making planes and tanks and stuff. But a lot of those factories, they said, maybe not a lot, but some of those factories just shut down altogether and didn't start back up until like the Korean conflict, producing the stuff that they were doing. And it usually takes, they say, about 5 years for the peacetime economy to start back up and stuff like that. So, you're going to have after war recessions and after war depressions and stuff like that, little whatever they want to call them. It's the same thing. You can put a label on anything, but it's the same thing. So this crap's coming up. JJ is looking pretty dapper on his phone, or on his with his little vest and whatnot, don't he? It looks pretty sweet. All right, so let's look at he's coming back.
She called to tell me she was taking the tolls. I was like, take the tolls. We both she's got, like, my wife is a professor at university. Well, it's now a college. She was a professor at a university. A couple of years ago, she moved to a college system and actually got a pay raise, got more money for teaching lower equivalent, not at a 4-year university, but at a college system that has colleges all over the Houston area. She got paid more, like significantly more money. Oh, what's up, Hulk?
My bad.
She got paid significantly more money, and now she has taken on the position of a department chair. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. And she's getting it's like a 3-year position where she's running some other program, and and it's giving her a pay raise. So the start of this week is not only I have a convention, it's also like the start of like college. Well, maybe it started last week, but like her stuff really starts like today. And so my wife is under a lot of like job stress, pressure, just to get kind of, it's the wind up, right? Once you get into things, like you can just keep it rolling, but like the wind up that has a lot of front end effort. And then I'm doing the conference, and I got to get the kids to school. So like our house is like a lot of like, let's get this thing right. So, I mean, we both got up extra early just to get stuff going. So she calls me, she's like, I'm going to have to take the tolls. I don't know. And I was like, take the tolls, get on the toll road, go do what you got to do.
So funny. We don't have toll roads around here anymore.
Oh, it's so awesome when
like 30 years.
Yeah, it's so awesome when major parts of the public transit system are privately owned and you have to pay to use it.
Pay
It's
to use the
great.
damn road. Yeah. Isn't that some shit? America, what a country.
Yes, it's great. It's awesome. I mean, listen. I'm not gonna lie. I take the toll sometimes, and I'll tell you why. There's so many people in Houston. There's so many people, and how do you stay away from the poor people? Well, you put roads with dollar signs on them, and then only you and the other rich people can drive on those. That's a joke.
Stupid
I'm kidding.
poor people.
No, it really just has less traffic and it gets me there faster.
I imagine. Yeah. No,
All
we have
right.
a toll road, and I really don't think I'm the kind of bastard that would go 14 miles out of the damn way to avoid paying for a damn toll road. I mean, if they're like, this is convenience and this will save you 15 miles, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. I'm driving 15 extra miles because you bastards aren't getting my money. I'll give it to somebody else, but I'm a bastard like that sometimes, man. If you do me wrong from a restaurant, I don't go back to your damn restaurant, man. I hold a grudge. I don't give my money to just.
Jeremy says the poor people get to live under the roads. It's not as bad here as it is in Austin. In Austin, there are literally like villages and camps underneath some of these bridges.
The homelessness in big cities like that is unreal. When I see some of these videos and stuff like that, we've got some homelessness in our area, but it is nothing compared to what it's like in some of those big cities. And I was reading an article the other day that said that some college students have gone to living in homeless shelters in order to save money. That they will try.
That is crazy.
They're trying to get to live in homeless shelters. To rent in this country more, there's going to have to be something done. There's going to have to be something done. There, if something is not purposefully done, something will be forcefully done. I have a feeling because people are getting exhausted. They've been exhausted for years, and now they're getting pissed. So not only are they exhausted, but they're starting to get pissed off, exhausted, and that's just a recipe for violence. When you're exhausted, when you're tired of all the bullshit, and then you start getting pissed off at all the bullshit because you've been patient for so long. I've always kind of said, I'm the dog that will go to the end of my chain. You know that old saying, oh, he's a dog that'll bark at the end of his chain. And I know several freaking guys around here that are like that. They will bitch and moan, but you try to call them out and they won't. They're sissies, They're like, okay. So, yeah. So I always said I was the dog that, and Ashley may be like, oh, you think you are. But I always said I was the dog that would go to the end of my chain and bark. But once you pissed me off enough, I'm going to go and unhook the chain and I'm going to beat your ass with the chain and I'm going to go hook the chain back up. All right. Because there's a point to where you can poke a dog so long before the most friendliest dog is going to get pissed off at you and tell you to quit poking it. That's what it does. So that's what's happening in America. We have been poked and poked and poked and poked so long that we're fixing to get pissed off. And I can see it coming.
I want to believe that, except that I just saw for 2 years, the government said, wear a mask everywhere. And they did it. And the government said, you can't leave your house. And they did it. And the government said,
not everybody did it though. Everybody did it, and that to me just showed that. I mean, I'll probably piss off a bunch of people by saying this, but I'm sorry. This is how I feel, and y'all can. I'm a dumbass too, but that just showed me who's the sheep. If I have a society, if I have 4 million people in a society, and I'm going to do something to figure out which ones are going to follow me and which ones are not. And I've worked in the media for 30 years. It's very easy to get people to believe crap. It's very easy to brainwash them. Like we used to do it for fun on the radio, on the freaking morning show. We used to brainwash you for fun, just to watch you call in and be an idiot. So it's no. There's also bearded women in Austin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all got freak shows there too. Oh, can we not call them freak shows anymore?
So I hope to inspire you to believe that some of our leaders are capable of
maybe a few.
For instance, here in Let me see what you think about this. Pennsylvania, a majority of new federal climate funds in Pennsylvania are going to repave parking lots.
Good.
Could be worse, I guess. I mean, the lion's share of the funding will go to 4 parking lots in Bloomsburg. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is sending $740,000 to Pennsylvania for critical infrastructure to combat climate change, but most of that money is going to go to repaving parking lots. So I don't know anything more than that. So let's just pause here. Definitely could be worse. They could be saying, hey, spend this money on fans to blow the air around outside, or plugs for cow butts, or, they could be asking for anything. So parking lots isn't that bad. Oh, he's on the air. You know what? People use parking lots, so maybe this is good. The USDA Rural Development Program provides taxpayer money for all sorts of programs, from infrastructure to health to environment to economic concerns in rural parts of America. In 2022, it provided almost $1.5 billion for local projects. Its latest announcement noted 16 projects in Pennsylvania, but the lion's share of the funding will go to 4 parking lots in Bloomsburg. These 16 projects represent Pennsylvania's diverse rural economy and will strengthen its resilience. Rural parking lots. That sounds good. The Biden-Harris administration has created a roadmap for how we can tackle the climate crisis and expand access to renewable energy infrastructure.
I would like to tickle the climate crisis.
Tickle that climate crisis. Yeah, tickle that. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about this. I don't live in Pennsylvania, and I don't care what they do. I do care that some of my money's going to them, but I guess some of our money's going to someone all the time, right? Whatever they're going to do, they're going to take our money and make sure somebody else gets it.
I got a sister-in-law that is pretty big up in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
yeah. Hang on.
Yeah. So let's see. I don't know. I don't know that this is actually incendiary. It's like $740,000, $500,000, but the scale of numbers. I mean, out of billions of dollars, I don't know that it's necessarily disproportionate to any other kind of major metropolitan allocation for this kind of money. Not sure what to think about this. Just something to keep an eye on. But, if you're going to do something, this is better than tearing down buildings and rebuilding them with, different air conditioners or whatever AOC wants. Parking lots, at least, are useful, and you can still park in them later on. I do think parking lots are useful. Maybe rural parking lots, super useful.
Cities, I'm sure they're a lot more useful than they are than.
All right.
Yeah, when I go to Nashville or St. Louis, I always bitch about parking. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I prefer to just stay out of the middle of cities. I do have that preference. I've had to go up to the DFW. I had to go up to Fort Worth Courthouse for a wedding, last year, and it kind of sucks to have to pay to park. Mm-hmm. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, we go to the freaking. We go to the concert. When we went to the concert in Nashville a couple weeks ago, it was on the way down there. I was like, how much do you think it's going to cost to park? And Ash was like $20. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, $20 to freaking park.
Right.
And that's freaking ridiculous.
Hey, but some of the cities though, they got a cool app that makes it a lot easier for you to just pay them. You just say, oh, I need a parking spot, and then you download the app, and then they just charge you directly to your phone. So that saves you the problem of finding quarters in your car. If
who are you paying parking spots for with quarters, JJ?
A lot of quarters. I want to quarter. Yeah.
Here is 300 quarters, sir.
Jordan says taxation is theft, and that is true. Taxation is theft. It is your money going into the government pockets, and if you don't, you go to jail, or you can get, it's use of force. The government has the monopoly on the use of force, and if you do not obey the government and give your tax money, they will use force against you. So yeah, it's theft. Maybe it's actually robbery. Isn't robbery whenever you get stolen from with the threat of use of force? Whereas theft, you could have a sneak thief dip into your house when you're not there and take stuff.
Yeah.
So I
I
think it's actually
think
taxation
it's
is
called a
robbery.
rape. That's what it's called.
It depends on where you keep your money, Deacon.
Wouldn't you like?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Hey,
quarters though. You got a lot of quarters. Got to roll them.
paying parking spaces with quarters. What year is this? 1991. Do you have any more yucky politics stories? Do we have some fun stories? Because I've been watching the Orville over the weekend, and
Oh, you
man,
know what?
it's
Let's
so
talk about
good.
the Orville because based on my brother, I watched a couple episodes of season 3.
Oh,
Where are you at?
I watched
Where are you
season
at?
1. I just finished season 1. I think I'm on the first episode of season 2. It's so good. I
Okay.
really enjoyed this a lot more than Star Trek, and I've seen every Star Trek like a couple of times. And
Okay.
I like this because it's funny. And yeah, some of the jokes are now, time period jokes, but they try to be like, yeah, that was a joke back in the day. Well, I understand why they do it now. It's just, it's so funny.
I I really like
But there's certain parts that you'll have a couple of really funny lines, but it's a serious show. I mean, it's there's some
right.
serious. It'll end on a
Yeah.
serious moment because at one I was like, that was kind of touching,
No, it really has the heart of the original Star
Yep.
Trek
Yep.
series, right? Where the story would have kind of a message, kind of like a moral or a theme or something like that. But it has modern modern well, I'm going to say prior to modern because modern is not very funny. So it has the sense of humor of about 5 or 6 years ago where you're a little bit carefree, and it doesn't matter exactly if the humor breaks the barrier of
Mhm.
keeping the pretend illusion that it's all real. So there's a couple of characters in the show that I think are super funny and irreverent, and especially and I don't remember their names, but the one is the engineer, the black engineer guy. That dude, every time he's on screen, he's doing engineering
Is his
stuff,
name
but he's also
Jason?
just like I don't know any of their names.
Mm.
But he's the engineer, and you would think an engineer would be like super serious and like scientific and whatever, and this dude is just like kind of like,
The
yeah, that's
His
good,
first line
yeah,
on the very
whatever.
first when he first met the captain, his captain was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm good, Captain Ed, blah blah blah." And he goes, "The old captain let us drink soda on the bridge. You still gonna let us drink soda on the bridge?" That was the first thing that he was
Right.
freaking worried about. I was
Yeah,
laughing by it.
yeah,
I was like, "That's hilarious,"
yeah,
because then at one point he's
yeah.
like, he's drinking his soda.
Jeremy says the engineer is John Lamar.
John,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
John.
great. He's one of my favorite characters. Okay, so you've started season 1, and let's just keep talking about Orville over the next couple of weeks
Okay,
whenever
yeah,
you watch. I don't know how you watch
it's
it.
good.
I saw season 1 probably like I don't know how many years ago it was, but it was on Hulu, and so I haven't had Hulu in a couple of years, so it must have been like 4 or 5 years ago. I
It's
just don't know.
on Paramount. Is it on Paramount or it's on Paramount
It's on Disney Plus now.
Oh, Disney Plus. Yeah, that's what it's on. It's
Yeah,
Disney Plus. Yeah,
yeah,
my
it's
bad.
on Disney Plus now. So, but I've seen it years ago. So I think I skipped most of season 2, and I was like, I don't exactly know where to start up, and I didn't really care that much. So I was let me just jump in season 3. Well, let me tell you, jump in season 3, and you're like, what happened? Why are all these people dead? What happened? So,
Oh.
so something happened. I don't know. Anyway, so it's still good. So yeah, we'll watch more of the Orville. The Orville. I also watched House of the Dragon last week, and I watched, which is the new Game of Thrones show.
Hmm.
I don't think you have HBO, so you're not
I
watching
don't give
that.
two craps about
Okay, well, the second episode not as good, not as much happening.
that.
Did you watch She-Hulk yet? Did you get a chance to watch She-Hulk?
No.
Oh,
I saw another
but you're
meme, a She-Hulk meme, where it was she's making fun of something. Like she's pointing out gender differences in something in the show because it's woke. And then she's got a screensaver, her background picture on her phone is of Captain America's ass. But she's talking about how women are being objectified.
Seriously?
And in a little bit in the earlier, this is the meme that I saw. Yeah, it was like,
Okay.
it's got the first picture up top. It's like she's doing this and objectifying, saying, why are women objectified? And then a little bit later on the show, it shows her damn phone and she's got a picture of Captain America's ass. You know, if we were walking around with a picture of She-Hulk's ass on a TV show like that, God, can you imagine what would happen? So
there is a
but they'll be okay with it because they'll say that's America's ass because they made a joke about it. And remember the joke we made and everybody loved?
So this article is on Yahoo News, but it's and I'm only picking it because it has the still frame. So there's they're saying this is funny, but I'm saying this is sad. So there's this scene where she's talking to her paralegal or whatever.
RGB.
And
RBG.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ.
And apparently, yeah, she has a UCLA, but she has right over here in the corner. You got like, oh, we're gonna make a real statement about modern politics. Yeah.
Is that Michael Obama
this is
right there in the background?
That's probably Michelle Obama, but I can't. This picture's blurry. She got Badass Women book, this Ruth Bader Ginsburg bobblehead. So this is like an indictment of
I'm going to send you that for Christmas, JJ. You just be expecting a Ruth Bader Ginsburg bobblehead.
No, I'm good.
Funko Pop.
Straight up, I'm all right. That's okay.
With a Nancy Pelosi Funko Pop.
Oh my God, no.
I would actually like a Pelosi Funko Pop.
No. You
don't want
Please,
one?
no. I don't think I've shared my address with you, and we'll just keep it
going. Hey, Jeremy, hit me up.
If you're gonna threaten to send me terrorist materials.
I'm sorry, that is terrorist material. I apologize about that. That's pretty.
All right, so you don't like Game of Thrones at all? Did you ever watch the original show?
It's just a little too much incest for me. I'm not a big incest fan.
I think there's a little less incest.
Crazy, right. But I'm just not a big incest fan. And honestly, I'm a big story person, and I watched several episodes of this show with my friends. I would watch this show. I didn't, every time, keep up with it every week. But I watched several episodes because my buddy was like, "Oh, Andy, you'd love this show, freaking dragons and all this crap, fantasy. It's right up your alley. You'd love this." So I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And
I find the dragons to be the least interesting.
Yeah, and all the forced sex in the second season. I mean, with Khaleesi and what's her name, all that. That was very uncomfortable to watch.
Right.
And all of the incest that goes on, and it's just they're trying to make light that this is okay. You see how this is okay, and that this is perfectly fine, and this is how it happened in this fantasy world, and everything was okay. Everybody's okay with it in this fantasy world. And I think George R.R. Martin is a fuck nut, Fruit Loop, crazy in the head man that can't write a story worth of shit. So every single person that has read these books or watched this has said the reason he can't finish the damn books is because he's killed all the damn characters, and you need to have some main freaking characters continue if you want to continue with the damn story. And so he's killed everybody, and he's screwed up I don't even want to read it. I don't even want to waste my time. It's like the Wheel of Time series. I never wanted to read that because the last book, the dude died before he wrote the last book.
Let me tell you, and I hate to say this, that may have been the best thing that ever happened to that series. Because
I've heard the guy
because and Robert Jordan was a fantastic author, gifted, visionary, able to create tapestries of plots and scenes and characters. But, and this is a very strong but, the man didn't have an editor that could tell him to, like, can you trim some fat here? And so the books got longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And some of the plots were like, oh my God, can you just kill this character, please, so that we don't have to read about her anymore? So So when Robert died, he died of a blood disease. Actually, it's pretty awful. But when he died, he was Brandon Sanderson was brought in to take his notes and wrap up the last two books of this, and those last two books turned into 3 books because the last book was so big. It was like, come on, this is 2 books. I can't have a 2,400 page book. So anyway, they very solidly tied those plot threads together in a way that Robert would have just been like, I'll just leave it dangling. Maybe they'll figure it out, because that's the way it was. So yeah. So you never read The Wheel of Time, or did you not get into it that much?
I just didn't get into it. I had the first book. It's like Dark Tower. I'll get to the drawing of the 3, and I'll get halfway through the drawing. I've read the drawing of the 3 halfway like 3 times. I cannot get past. There's a part with Odetta that is just Stephen King. You know how, if you're a Stephen King fan, you know how the first 15 pages will be Stephen describing the fucking room that the guy just walked in. You know, he's describing every single detail of the room. And so I just, and I've had people that's Dark Tower fans like, oh no, if you're having trouble with number 2, you'll never get past the Wolves of Kala or some of those. You'll never get past them.
So I read the Dark Tower series, and I feel like it started off with like the Gunslinger. That's an incredible
that freaking first book I've read like 3 times. It's
and then like
insane.
and then the second book is like, oh, that's not quite as good, but it's still very
it was
good.
still okay.
And then it just kept getting like, wow, what is going on with here? I do like the stuff with the train, Blaine the Train. I like Blaine the Train. I like the giant robot bear. But there's some stuff where I'm just like, what the hell's going on in this series? The Doors thing is always very interesting, where he would go between this world, that world, and this world for the boy, Joel or
Jake,
the druggie Jake.
Jake was the little boy. So, who was the druggie?
I thought, Jake was the boy. Sorry, there was a druggie though, right?
There was a druggie, and then there was Odetta, the black woman, and then there was somebody.
Am I misremembering it? Was she in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she was. Odetta, I think, was
right.
And then, but Odetta was like a multiple personality too.
You're right, and she throws plates.
Yeah. Well, that's a good book. So, Eddie.
King did a lot of drugs.
Your brother, Eddie. Eddie was the other one.
Eddie. Yeah. So the Dark Tower series is a letdown. Some of the books of the Dark Tower are
excellent,
masterpiece. It just incredible. I don't know how far in the drawing of the 3 is. Is that like 2 or 3 books in?
The second one, I think.
Oh, is it really?
The second book is a gun.
There's
3, I think.
I'd have to look it up. There's a couple that are very, very interesting. My favorite one is probably the one with Blaine the Train. So I guess you didn't get there.
No, I know who that is though.
Yeah, and then there's one where they're all kind of at the place where the Dark Tower is. It's kind of like this Nexus place, and it's like, that book is boring as hell. Couldn't take it. And then spoilers: the entire series ends up looping around and starting at the ending right at the beginning. So you're in this giant loop where Roland goes through all of this, and now he's at the beginning of the thing again. It's like, what the fuck did I read this for? Stephen King trolling his audience for like 30 years. All right. Well, if you so I would almost recommend investing in the Wheel of Time and get at least a book 3, maybe book 4, because then you'll be like, well, the first book is very, very like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, right? Okay. After the first book, Wheel of Time diverts
now,
significantly.
I watched I'm caught up on Prime on the Wheel of Time. And I knew I knew. No. I can see.
No. The only thing that is the same between the Wheel of Time TV show and the Wheel of Time books is that I was going to say they used the snake symbol. They messed that up in the TV show too. So I guess it would be maybe the words Wheel of Time are in the title card and on the book covers. Everything else, and I mean everything else, is wrong on the TV show. They couldn't have done a worse job of adapting the books. Rand isn't Rand. He's not. Amazon just didn't care. They were just like, I don't know. This seems like a lot of work to adapt. Let's just like make stuff up and we'll just call it the same thing.
Yep. Money.
No, Wheel of Time is bad. It's a bad show. Jeremy is right. Lord of Chaos is a good book. Dragon Reborn is a good book. What's 4? Shadows. Oh, he'll remember that. I got all of them in the other room. Good books. Okay. Yeah, let's skip all the political news this morning. It's just going to be more of like, hey, did you know the FBI lied? Yeah, the FBI lied. Did you know the media lied? Yeah, the media lied. Hey, do you believe that your $20,000 of your college debt's going to get wiped out? Do you believe it?
No.
Go ahead and vote Democrat. Oh, we're not going to do that? Oh, we're not actually going to do that. So don't worry, Deacon. Your money's not going to be stolen to pay my debt. I don't believe that's going to happen. Your money will be stolen, but it won't pay my debt. It is just going to get burned up somewhere. So that pretty much covers the political stuff for this morning. Anything else? I can't believe you're just disinterested in She-Hulk. And I can understand why you're disinterested in House of... I did want to loop back on this. If you guys are watching Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Deacon is right. The sex and the violence in Game of Thrones is atrocious. It is very off-putting. I don't want to see that stuff. But don't worry, there's not as much of that in House of the Dragon. In exchange, you are going to get some kind of awkward scenes about a 60-year-old dude contemplating marrying a 12-year-old girl. So it does get a little bit pedo.
Hell?
It does get a little pedo. It's uncomfortable.
You won't watch Netflix at all because of some damn show, but this is okay because it's fiction.
I didn't say it was okay, but would you trade which is
people on a huge TV show? This is acceptable.
Which is more uncomfortable to you, Deacon? Violence and sex, or a little bit of pedo stuff? It's not even straight pedo. It's just kind of, like, look, 60-year-old guy might marry a 12-year-old girl. That might happen. Could happen.
If I had to choose one of those.
Is that okay? Yeah, that's your choices. Yeah, slightly pedo, not even hard pedo.
No,
just
no pedo.
Slightly. Or sex and violence. No, it's not good. Game of Thrones, HBO.
World we live in, man. I mean,
clown world. This is clown world. That's the whole point of this show. You cannot, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
I feel sorry for the son of a bitch that does something like that to something that affects me. I mean, I'm okay with what I have to do. I'm okay with it.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I did not mean to imply that it was not consensual on part of the parents. No, the dad was actually pimping her out a little bit in the show, but you haven't seen it, so I think it's.
I hope that they make more of this. I hope it does so well and people love this show because this is entertainment that I would like to show my children. I would like my children.
Oh no, you should not
to see how popular this show is. It doesn't matter because if the fucking show gets huge and popular, every fucking kid wants to watch it. My kids were watching Stranger Things and they don't give two shits about Stranger Things, but by God, they watched it because every single other person in the world and all the other kids and everything that you looked on TikTok and YouTube and everything was Stranger Things for a while. So by God, they had to be in with the crowd. And that's just how we all did at that era. So if this is something that is, hey, have you watched the Game of Thrones? What's it called? House of Dragons? Have you watched this? No, cool. That's it. Watch this side. Have you watch this? We're gonna watch this. And then it's got this bullshit in it. Do you want your kids watching that? I don't. No, I don't either. And
no, I just think it is interesting that this is what HBO is like. Oh, people will buy this. They're going to be into this show.
Well, they're no different than Netflix or any of these other greedy fucking bastards.
That's true.
They're no different. And the channels that actually stand up and try to have some sort of morals or something like that, they get tore down.
I just I don't understand why. I mean, I guess they're trying to be like, it's like fantasy show, but it's based in like medieval reality. So maybe they're trying to like like. For the plot, it could have and you don't really know what's going on, but the Lord guy that's trying to pimp his daughter to the king, he's trying to bind his house to, the Targaryen house, and so that they're stronger together. There was no reason why his daughter had to be 12 other than to make you uncomfortable in the audience. His daughter could have been 15. His daughter could have been 18.
I guess they
his
still
daughter could have
do
been...
that shit over there and other side of the world and stuff like that. They
So
marry off
the only
12-year-old kids.
the only reason she was 12 in the show had nothing to do with the plot other than to make you feel
uncomfortable. But they will be like,
or make you feel like
political statement.
That's a good idea. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe my next wife should be 12. What? So yeah, this is our world. This is our culture. I can't believe that people around the world don't find Americans to be charming and something to aspire to be anymore. All right. Well, that is. I think we're just gonna skip all of the boring stuff. I got one thing. It's not political.
We have one more
exactly.
story.
It's not
I really don't want to
it's
go out
not-
on a pedophilia story.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. This may be good news, maybe, depending on your point of view. Biden recession. NBC may cut 33% of primetime programming to save money. That's how good our economy is. One of the world's oldest national broadcasting companies. With viewership and revenues continuing to fall, NBC is looking to cut the number of hours it programs for primetime TV.
Nobody watches primetime TV anymore. When's the last time you watched something? Do you even watch your local news?
I don't have an antenna, and I sure don't have cable TV.
Right. We're facing the same problem with radio, with my business.
I know.
Radios.
My wife and I were talking about that the other day because she was like, "It's cool you're on the show, and you guys are doing the show and stuff, and maybe people out there would be inspired by Deacon and want to be in radio." And I was like, that's cool if they do, but like, I'm not sure how much more future terrestrial radio has.
We've been talking.
And she was like, terrestrial radio, and I was like, terrestrial radio,
radio stations. Yeah, I remember when podcasts started up. I remember when the satellite radio started up, and we were all freaking out over that. And I remember when internet came into radio, and I watched it. And I remember saying a couple of times that these podcasts, when the podcast came out, I told my buddy that I worked with, I was like, "This is where it's going. This is where it's going." And I'm talking, this was like 20 years ago. This is when podcasts first came out, 20 years ago or more. And so terrestrial radio has suffered, and I guess television stations suffered too. We have Paramount Plus, and I flipped it over there one day, and it's got a thing at the top where it's live, my live CBS channel, and I clicked on it because it was they have the local news is Heartland News, and it's one close to us, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I hadn't watched Heartland News in like 10 years," so I flipped it over there, and I was watching the local news with local newscasters like we used to watch it. It would come on at 5 and 6 every night, and 10,
right?
5, 6,
That's
10.
awesome. That's cool, right?
And so, yeah, it was really interesting. But yeah, I can see where, we in radio have had to change, not as drastically as television has, but television has completely changed their. Now you have to have all of these damn streaming services, or they're not going to make any money. They're going to completely go out of business if you don't have the Peacock.
Right.
That's where they're going to get most of their money now. Not from streaming and not from the ads from streaming. And that's why all these other places are going to ads. You've paid for Disney Plus, you're going to have to pay for ads. Netflix is charging that and going to have ads. You're having more of these ads. I've got free.
Well, you know what show doesn't have ads?
What's that?
This show is free. So we're competing with NBC and we don't have ads.
I could do ads for this show.
Look, as soon as we can run ads, we probably will. As soon as we can run ads, I will. But we don't. This is a free show.
You would look good in an ad today. Like you do look like I'm a dapper Dan man myself.
Yes.
It's not.
This is a professional setup.
The high and tight looks good. The beard looks good.
Thank you. I even cut the neck beard down.
I do that too. Hang on. Let's see it. Hang on. Get.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at the cut of my jib.
That's nice.
My shirt collar's a little big though.
I try that sometimes, but you kind of go. You gotta go with the jawline, and I always have to ask.
Except for
Ashley, "That looks stupid."
Except for the shirt, which I really bought like 10 years ago from a Men's Warehouse type thing. Except for the shirt, every bit of this is like probably from like Goodwill or a thrift store.
Nice, you look awesome. You ain't gotta have a $10,000
Hey,
freaking shirt.
Of course you don't. Fake it till you make it.
300 to the
All right.
eye.
I think we're going to just pull the plug on this one. I'm going to encourage everybody to show up tomorrow because tomorrow's Tuesday, and tomorrow's going to be the best show we have ever had, and we're going to start planning for it maybe around 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. So no idea what it's going to be, but it's going to be the best show. Oh, we should have a new show year 2 ads.
That's great.
Maybe we should do like, okay, so guys, listen. I know all 4 of us are here on the watching the show right now. We got goals, everybody. Here's our goals. Goal number 1 on YouTube. Let's get monetized. So we're going to need out of 4,000 required view hours, we only need to put up 3,750 more or so.
Okay, sweet.
View hours. And out of our 272 subscribers on the show, we just need to bump that up slightly to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay. So that's our goal for the next, we'll say next quarter. We might push that quarter out a little bit. That's our goal. Goal number 2 is to acquire live streaming rights on rumble.com. Not only is our show on youtube.com, we're also, I take the show after it posts on YouTube and I repost it on Rumble, but I would like to stream to Rumble. But in order to get to Rumble, we got to get 100 Rumble subscribers. That's all, just 100.
Okay.
So I guess we got to tell 100 people that Rumble exists and then make fake accounts and then sub to rumble.com/JJW. I got a great channel address there. It's just JJW, but we need 100 Rumble subs. We got some other goals there too, but the goal of monetization on YouTube is a little distant. Not quite in. Here comes the showstopper. That means it's the end of the show, and I got to get going. Come on, Sweet Pea. Come here. Let's not play the book, but come here and let's say hi to Uncle Jeremy and Uncle Deacon and Uncle Jordan. Do you want to say good morning?
Good morning, Deacon.
Hi.
Here.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you feeling okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good. You got a good night's sleep?
Yeah.
All right. So let me encourage everybody. We'll see you here tomorrow morning. It's going to be the best show. It's going to be great. Deacon's going to be pumped even more than he already is. And if you get here on time, you get to watch the intro video that I premiered this morning that only Jeremy got to see. And Deacon could have seen, but
I was too busy.
He averted his eyes and his ears.
I was watching it. I averted my ears because I was poopy.
I can only say, I'm going to just speak it up. It's the best intro video we've ever had for the show. It's packed with entertainment, and you want to see it.
Chock full of nuts. It really satisfies.
Yes, it does.
You're wanting more ads. I'm trying to help us out.
I'm not going to say that you could watch the. I'm not going to say that you could watch the trailer and be just as satisfied as watching the entire show. But since you're here for the trailer, you may as well watch the whole show. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We got to figure out a growth strategy here that doesn't occupy any of your additional time or mine. Don't know how that's going to work.
What is that white thing mean?
The white thing?
Yeah, right there.
It's I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, dear. All right. Goodbye, everybody. I'm JJW. That's Deacon. We've been your 2 dads.
Daddy, could you say hi to Deacon right there?
Yeah, go ahead. Say hi to Deacon.
Uncle Jeremy right here.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Jeremy's right there. Right there. Here. Just say hi.
Hi, Deacon.
Hi.
All right. Say good morning. And hey, can you say subscribe to our show?
What?
Can you say subscribe to our channel?
What does that mean?
You don't really need to know what it means. You just need to say it because it's cute when you say it and they might do it.
I don't know what that means.
Good girl.
Yeah. That's the team we got over here.
Good girl.